Hey guys, welcome back for more videos about French. And today we will target present progressive. Present progressive, which is something that you're not familiar with, I guess. So I hope you will like it. So yeah, present progressive. Je suis en train de manger. Je suis en train de manger. This is an example of present progressive. So yeah, if you want to know how to do that, be sure to stay here. And then you've got the usage of this present progressive. Être en train de. Être en train de. This is what we will target today. So it means literally like to be in the middle of doing something. So when you say, like you use this kind of sentence, you've got this meaning, to be in the middle of something. And often there is a nuance, like there are implied nuances when you use être en train de. First, it means like the action is currently underway. When you use this, it means like always you're doing the action. Like now, currently, you're doing the action. So this is important. That's why I put to be in the middle of doing something. You are in the middle of doing something. And then, yeah, the action is currently underway, and you've got like currently or no that now that is implied. So yeah, this is basically the meaning. And now let's check some examples. So the first one is je suis en train de courir. Je suis en train de courir. I am in the middle of a run. So yeah, as you can see, you are in the middle of the action. Je suis en train de courir. Suis en train de courir. And then let's check another one, another example. Il est en train de faire à manger. Il est en train de faire à manger. He is now cooking. He is now cooking. Il est en train de faire à manger. So, like the action that he is currently doing is cooking. So this is il est en train de faire à manger. And then you've got another one. L'enfant est en train de parler. L'enfant est en train de parler. The kid is currently talking. So again, there is currently here, there is now here, and here it's in the middle. So you can see like three different ways to translate that. Like to be in the middle, like the action is currently underway. So here currently, and here now. You've got now, currently, and in the middle. So this is basically all the nuances that can pops up with to be in the like to be in the middle of something, like je suis en train de, être en train de faire quelque chose, être en train de. So maybe you don't understand why I'm using here different words, but here it's always the same. So basically it's because I'm using one verb, and let's now check at the structure of this construction. So here, this is the pattern that you need to remember. The subject, like je, tu, il, like I, you, or you, he, she. So this is the subject. So here, je or il, subject. Then you've got the verb, which is here like to be, être, in English, to be, être. But you have to change the form. As you know, in French, you have to do that depending on the time and also the subject. So here, because the subject is je, you have to say suis, je suis, je suis. And then you've got here, il, être, when there is il as a subject, it's est, il est, je suis, il est. And then you've got en train de, that is the only part that is not changing, en train de, en train de, en train de, as you can see, it's always the same. And then, after that, you always have to add an action. So again, a verb, which is the infinitive form. So here you can see courir, courir, like to run. And here, faire à manger, like to cook. So here, je suis en train de courir. I am in the middle of a run. And here, il est en train de faire à manger. Il est en train de faire à manger. He is now cooking. Faire à manger, cooking. En train de, like this is what is implied, like we translate it by now, here. And il est, he is. Same here, je suis, I am. Courir, like run. And here, en train de, in the middle of a run. So you see here in the English translation, we don't use a verb, but like it's roughly the same. So you can also translate that by he is now running, just to put all the nuances that I'm using a different way to translate that. Je suis en train de courir. Il est en train de faire à manger. So this is how you do the structure of this form. Subject, verb, which is always être, then en train de, and then a verb, infinitive form, like the verb of the action that you're currently doing. So if you're not familiar with the conjugation of the verb être, to be, as I said, here is kind of memo for you. Je suis, I am. Tu es, you are. So it's always informal singular. Il est, elle est. He is, she is. Nous sommes, we are. Vous êtes, you are, which can be polite or like the plural form. And then ils sont, elles sont, they are. So here it's like for the masculine and for the feminine form. So this is like the present of the verb être, to be. And then you can always change those forms. Like if you want to use the past, you can also use the past for this structure. If you want to say, I was in the middle of something, you can say, instead of suis, you take était, the verb était, the form était, and you say, j'étais en train de courir. I was in the middle of a run. J'étais en train de courir. So this is all for the verb être, but be careful, it's only present, so you need to learn all the conjugations of the verb être if you want to use the full potential of the form that we're learning, present progressive. But it's always the same pattern once you manage to remember all the conjugations of être. So now, let's move on to the next one, which is the negative form. The negative form is really simple. Like it's like when you're using any verb in French and you want to add the negation. So here it's only the black part that is added. So here you see ne and pas. So if you want to say je ne suis pas, like I am not currently writing a letter, you would say je ne suis pas en train d'écrire une lettre. So here, same structure. If you remove the ne and the pas, je ne suis pas en train d'écrire une lettre. Je ne suis pas en train d'écrire une lettre. So here I'm doing the liaison here. Je ne suis pas en train. Je ne suis pas en train without the liaison. Je ne suis pas en train with the liaison. Can you hear it? Je ne suis pas en train. Je ne suis pas en train. You have to say je ne suis pas en train. Pas en train. This is the liaison. Because here you've got S and here a vowel. And when there is a S at the end of a word and a vowel as the first letter of the next word, you have to do the liaison. Pas encore. Pas en train. Pas en train. Je ne suis pas en train d'écrire une lettre. So this is really basic, like just adding the negation. This is how you do. So you don't add the negation after the en train de. It's here, before, like surrounding the verb, être, ne pas. And here you can see that because the first letter of this verb is starting with a vowel, I'm contracting the D here. I'm not using the D, E. I'm using only D and then that. So basically, this is happening whenever you have like a vowel as the first letter of a verb. And it's not only for the negative form, it's also for the positive form. It's just like it's easier to say. Like if you want to say en train de écrire, it's a bit weird, and it's smoother if you say en train d'écrire, en train d'écrire, en train d'écrire. So this is something that you need to check. You have, when there is a vowel as a first letter, always do this contraction. This is important. And then let's have a look at the other example. Nous ne sommes pas en train de boire du café. Nous ne sommes pas en train de boire du café. So here it's like we are not drinking coffee right now. Nous ne sommes pas en train de boire du café. So here, nous, we, some, are, ne and pas, not, drinking, like en train de boire, like drinking right now, en train de boire, and then coffee, du café. So here you see we are translating en train de by drinking right now. like en train de boire, drinking right now. So this is also something that you can, a way you can translate it. So let's move on to the way you can translate that, because sometimes people think that it's really simple to be doing something. It's être en train de. Être en train de is to be doing something, like equivalent. And this is not always true. That's why I try my best not to translate it like that with the previous examples, because there is, like, it's useful to know that, to have this in mind to like translate, but you have to keep in mind that it's not always the case, and there are more that is implied when you do that. So let's have a look at two more examples. When you say in English, I am eating, in French, you can translate it by je mange or je suis en train de manger, depending on the context. So here, as you can see, I'm eating is je suis en train de manger, but it's not like equivalent. You've got also the possible translation with je mange, which is like only I eat, like literally, but like in English, you will be more inclined to say I'm eating when you're really eating, but in French, you will say like je mange a lot of, like in a lot of situations. Like let's say 50% you would say je mange, 50% you would say je suis en train de manger. But this is in some cases, in some really specific situation, it might be possible that it's less weird if you translate it by je mange. So be careful with that. But this example is not like a really tough one, because you can say both, and it's usually not wrong if you say that. But let's try to translate I'm thinking. I'm thinking, you would translate it by je pense in French. Like in almost all cases, you would translate it by je pense, which is not je suis en train de penser. If you use je suis en train de penser, it might sound a bit weird, and it might sound like too strong, because I'm thinking is not strong enough, like to prove, like if you want to underline the fact that you are doing the action, like this is the less strong. Then this one is a bit more strong, and this one is even more strong. This one is really strong. It would be a bit like if you say like I am now thinking. I am now thinking is more like the correct translation of je suis en train de penser. I am now thinking, je suis en train de penser. So here there is the now, and because of this, we can translate it by en train de. With the now, you are stressing the fact that the action is underway. That's why we are using en train de for the translation. Je suis en train de penser. I am now thinking. And it's not like, if you translate it by je pense, it's not strong enough to like, if you translate with that, you will not reveal the full potential of, like, the full meaning of this sentence. I am now thinking, you have to translate it by je suis en train de penser or something like that, but not just je pense. And here, another example, I am currently eating. With this, because there is currently, you have to translate the currently. So you can translate literally currently by translating by actuellement, and you can say je mange actuellement, but it's a bit weird, and the more common way to say that is je suis en train de manger, So here, as you can see, I'm using the form être en train de. So this is present progressive. Je suis en train de manger. I am currently eating. And same, when you say je suis en train de manger, in most cases, it would be better to translate it by I am currently eating, which is better than I'm just eating, like I'm eating. So be careful with that. Like, I think the most interesting example is I'm thinking, because when you say I'm thinking, you have to translate it by je pense. And this is not je suis en train de penser. And je suis en train de penser is like I am currently thinking or I am now thinking. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. But this can be an easy way for you to remember what is implied by this form, like the present progressive. But don't forget, this means to be in the middle of something, to be in the middle of an action. So this is what you need to remember. And so I'm gonna do a short quiz right now. So here I give you a verb and a subject. Parler, nous. So the verb, the subject, and I want you to use the form, like the present progressive with those examples. So here, nager, elle. So like it's they and like to swim. Here it's to speak. Here it's we. Acheter du pain and mon papa. Mon papa, my dad. And acheter du pain, to buy some bread. Here are the answers. So, nous, subject. Nous, sommes, like être transformed, because the subject is nous. Nous sommes en train de parler. Nous sommes en train de parler. Nous sommes en train de parler. And then for this one, elles sont en train de nager. 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 Acheter du pain and mon papa. Mon papa, the subject, my dad. Mon papa est en train d'acheter du pain. Mon papa est en train d'acheter du pain. So here, if you want to translate that, nous sommes en train de parler. We are now speaking, like talking to each other. Nous sommes en train de parler. So now we are doing the action. Elles sont en train de nager. They are like currently swimming. They are now swimming. Elles sont en train de nager. This is the action that they are doing right now. And then, mon papa est en train d'acheter du pain. My dad is currently buying some bread. So like he went to buy some bread. This means like he's out, and then he is at the bakery buying some bread. So this is right now. He is doing the action. So I hope it was not that hard for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. And don't forget to check the description with all the links that can be useful for you guys. So yeah, see you guys.